Martin, Mark, Ernest, Lalit. All right, then let's start. Welcome to Tradespoon and Yellow Tunnel. My name is Vlad Karpel. I'm CEO and founder of both companies, and today we're going to have a live trading room open to trade stock and options using our technology. For those of you who are new, welcome. If this is your first live event, do me a favor, tap in first. Always want to welcome new subscribers. This is my brief bio. Disclosures are very important. Please read them. Trading stock and options involve risk, not suitable for everyone. You must be aware of the risk and be willing to accept them in order to invest in current market conditions. If you're new to trading, I encourage you to visit the link on your screen, optionstrading.com, so you can understand the risk associated with trading stock or options. Also, it should not be assumed that the future trade picks will be profitable or will equal past performance. All right, trading psychology is important. The goal is to become a disciplined trader, confident trader, making full-time, part-time income. How do you do that? Very important is to keep a journal, right? So I encourage everybody to keep a journal and write down all of the rules. Part of my journal is portfolio allocation, cash. Just give me 1 second. So portfolio allocation is important as one of the rules checklist in a journal. So we would write down a symbol and just say, do I have 30% of portfolio in cash? If yes, then okay, you move on. If not, then maybe you shouldn't put on another trade, at least especially not buying on margin. And then the most important is portfolio drawdown. Right? There's uncertainty in the market, geopolitical risks, earnings season, high inflation, high interest rates. So you don't know how far can the market pull back. So it's very important to have risk management skills in place and processes, right? So I propose not to have more than 4 positions, especially if you're new to trading, and maximum exposure of 2.5% of account value per position. These are some of the other checklists. Don't break the legs of the spread. Don't trade naked options would be one. Look for ABC patterns. Wait till end of day to trade trades. Allow more time as the VIX approaches 20 level. Allow more time. Maybe if you have April position, that's we have for expiration this Friday. So maybe it makes more sense to roll to now May, or now that we're almost done with April, maybe June is if you're gonna put new position, maybe June. All right. All right. So how do you determine target gain stop losses and that 2.5% of exposure? Let's look at the chart. So since we met yesterday, a lot of indexes are sitting in the key support, right? Whether it's a Bitcoin sitting at the 50-day moving average, whether it's SPY that peers through the 50-day moving average, IWM, they're all breaking down below key what considered to be a strong support, right? Psychologically, technically, and from position point of view. So right now, well, I'm not sure how many people are going to be very bullish right now, but let's assume right now support is 504, right? 504. So let's look what the model says. So the stack forecast toolbox model that determines, based on neural network, key kind of support and resistance level, basically says that support will hold today. It's a negative trend, and potentially we could reach as low as 495. Reaction, right, on April 29th, he's going to react to the interest rates, to the rise in inflation, and maybe he'll sound bullish, dovish, maybe he'll sound hawkish, we don't know. But until then, we have basically 2 weeks. Predominantly, headlines are earnings, escalation in Middle East, and higher for longer, right? Those are the three forces, three vectors that push in the market in three different directions, right? All right, this is the market. I draw today. Good. Okay, let me see 1 second. Okay, I can't draw, but anyway. Okay, so 490 is your support, right? As we approach in pulled by three different forces, right? One is the earnings, one is the geopolitical risks, headlines, and one is the inflation and macroeconomic high interest rates. So right now, recovery yesterday when we left, and then we had a sharp pullback. So if you're bullish, right, probably your overhead resistance is 513. So what used to be a support, right? So what used to be a support is now becoming overhead resistance. So I would watch 513. I would at least, as if you're a short-term aggressive trader, I would consider, going short at 513 or trim your position at 513. Right, that's kind of the line in the sand right now. So that's overhead resistance 1, support is 2, and we are basically trading at the opening price from the NVIDIA earnings. On 493, we'll call it 490, nice and round number, is low. Maybe then I would consider exiting, maybe 1%, maybe 0.5% stop loss. And if you're doing longer term trading, then 490 would be, next level of support would be 490, then 480. Those are the two levels to watch. And in terms of positioning, I think if you look at the positioning today, not a lot of position at 497, right? 497, 500, relatively small amount. So I wouldn't. So the main position is in April, which expires this Friday. So 499. So I think 499, even why 490, 495. So in theory, 500 or 490, somewhere between 490 and 500 based on positioning data. The market should hold. But then once Friday comes in and it expires, right? Position obviously at 495, but the numbers are small. So the volume, you should not be surprised if the market does reach 480, especially if this 504 level is broken. Then with somewhere it could be 480, it could be 490, it could be 200-day moving average 470. It just depends on the headline news, right? So that would be the overhead resistance. 513, next one is all-time high, 523, support 504, watch for 504, and then 495. Meanwhile, we are in the middle of the earnings season, so we do have Bank of America. Let's manage Bank of America. and see if we want to make any adjustments. Oh, I can draw just wrong screen. Okay. So Bank of America actually turned negative. It was positive, now it's turning negative. Morgan Stanley is up 4.5%, and UNH up 7%. All right, so Spiders is flat, Morgan Stanley up 3%. So continues to drop. See Morgan Stanley. I did the ratio spreads. Ratio spread butterfly would be if I bought that out of the money put and call to hedge. Since it's a small stock with the small price, right? I just did the ratio spread 1 to 2. So I do have 37 call. I have 35 put. Bank of America, it's trading kind of in between, not going anywhere. So let's see what the prices are for Bank of America. Or put. No, it was all the way to 35 level. So we did have a print of 35. Pretty volatile. So let's look. So usually you would wait 15 minutes to see if it stabilizes, because I do have 35 put and 37 call, which potentially could reach both sides depending on market conditions. Where's the market? Small caps down 1%. Spider. So first 15 minutes is where I would find support and resistance. So for now, Bank of America looks like it's pulling back. Okay. I think it's been all over the place. Right, because if you look at Bank of America, pre-market, let's look at the bar chart. We were as high as 37 and we were as low as 35. It just shows you how volatile the market is. Basically reaching both extremes, right? It's reaching both extremes, the 35 and 37. It looks like it's heading lower. All right, any questions? Good morning, Lalit. Fred, good morning. Faust, good morning. TLT looks to be heading to pretty strong. Let's look at TLT. First, let's keep an eye on Bank of America. So let's see, what do we have on Bank of America? 35 put and 32 put. So it looks like it's weak. So I can let's close the long call. Doesn't be profitable. All right, 34.35 put, and we're close to 35 level. All right, 8:40, so we have 10 minutes. We want to see where the support is for Bank of America. Puts in shares like Amazon or Enviro at a price you're willing to buy, keep the shares, a good bet for a hedge. Amazon or Enviro at a price you're willing to buy, keep the shares is a good bet for a hedge. Well, selling some puts, this is not a hedge. Selling puts, you're basically doubling down, right? You're adding exposure. I would wait a couple days before adding new positions, right? I mean, if you think that spiders will hold, obviously, selling puts makes sense, right? But if you see a weakness and spiders look weak, right? despite all of this, I would not sell puts right now, even at the price because I think you can get a better price, right? Right now we broke to the 50-day moving average. Looks like earnings are not, something that people are getting too excited about. So I would wait, right? I would wait. Selling puts because you think that's 480 will hold. That's a good strategy. But if you like me, where you think it's going to get to 480, then why would I sell puts at when Spiders is at 504 if I can sell puts when Spiders is at maybe 480? Let's see, and I have. Okay, so 842. Let's see how's the Bank of America. So Bank of America is at 35. Let's see, what is the spread trading in Bank of America? Okay, so we're up. All right, so 32, 47, 35. It's 843. So 34. It's continued to drop. Down 3%, unlocked by 40 basis points. Regionals are down, utilities, jets, small caps, biotech. I mean, of Bank of America. From yesterday, right? That will help us determine where the support and resistance. So yesterday, when we placed the trade, the biggest position was at 34, right? So there's a very large position at 34. I mean, granted, there is also a position at 32, right? But the biggest position in April 19th is here, right? No way. Preference. Had that issues painting a different screen. Okay. So let's look at Bank of America. Sorry. So biggest position 34, right? 4C and a little bit at 32. So it could break through 34. But the theory is that it acts as a kind of a magnet. All right, so we're at 845, 15. Let's assume that that level holds. Okay, so let's close the short call first, since it can be naked. All right, and so assuming that 34 will hold, then let's close. Oh, we're still breaking down. Looks like we're still breaking down. So just need to wait and see where it stabilizes. And we're still 3% away, but we need to find some kind of a support. Silver's down to this. So small caps leading the market to the downside, spiders slightly negative, Dow slightly positive, and QQQ slightly negative. Okay. All right, any questions? About present, what do we call? If your account does not allow you to close the long call on Bank of America, place an order and just to close a spread, right? I'm kind of still waiting to see where the support for Bank of America. It's down 3%. The way 3% looks like it's trying to find a support. So then you would have to do it as a spread. That. Right. So you would close it as a spread. You would close the short and long together, right? If your account doesn't allow you to be naked, you would have to close the long and short call together as a spread. I'll try to show it as a spread on. I guess let's try to do it on. Vertical, Bank of America. So I have 35.34 put, right? 35.34 put. I can close it for a credit of 36 cents, right? 36 cents. Let's assume that this, let's put it away, 50 cents. Let's put it 50 cents. For now, away from the market. So if you can't be naked, then you have to do it together. Then I would put it as a spread, right? 30. You close in 35 long leg, and you buying back the short 34 put, all in one transaction, right? And you're looking for 50, I mean, it's trading at 38 cents, looking for 50 profit. All right. I mean, it's been 8:50, 30 minutes. Let's see. Where's Bank of? What does the model say? Bank of America. What's this without earnings? 35.64. So, I mean, 34. I mean, looks like 34 is well hedged. Okay, so let's assume it's not going to break 34 level. Then I'm going to close the spread and try to make 36 cents. Let's do 37 cents. No? Okay, fine. 36 cents. Okay, 35 cents. Okay, so I'm out of 35 cents. Okay, so as of right now, what did I do? 35 and 34 puts. Right, so I bought 32, sold 234 puts, right? It's a credit put spread. I mean, a ratio spread. So 22 cents, so I paid 14 cents. Let's see. These boards. $0.77 credit on 34.35 put. I collected in another 6 cents credit, right? So I collected 13 cents on the puts, ratio put spread. And for, no, that doesn't make sense. Sorry. Oh yeah, that's right. I collected 13 cents. And I collected a credit. This is not right. Oh, this is cancel. Sorry, cancel. Sorry, 35, 32. Okay, let's try it again. I had to bring, okay, so right, so I bought it at 32 cents and sold to it to 11 at 11 cents, 24. So this is debit of 8 cents. So on the put side, debit of 8 cents and credit of 35. So on the puts for now, I'm up 27 cents, 27 cents. And then on the call side, I paid 27 and collected 16, right? 2 times, collected 16. So that would be 11 cents debit minus the credit, 7 cents. So I have to add all this together, but it looks like for now I'm, if you do the ratio spread, profitable, right? And now I just have to close. The only thing that is left is the short put. So let's see if I can close the short put for 6 cents. The same idea behind bars, it's way out of the money. So that's the advantage of ratio spread, right? Or butterflies. So we'll see where we're going to close. Bank of America wants to rebound. Okay, while we're waiting for Bank of America to see if it finds the rest of the market and see what's going on and the positions. So one noticeable is obviously 10-year yield, right? It kind of relentlessly going higher. We actually reached 470 to the market, right? So fear of inflation. Let's see in terms of higher for longer, right? Fear of higher for longer. Today we have housing starts, vice chair speaking, Powell speaking. I would assume he's going to just reiterate something, kind of similar. More Fed speakers on tomorrow, which, I mean, every time any of the committee members speak, that creates uncertainty, right? They could be sound dovish, they can sound hawkish, and the market is vulnerable, right? People are on the edge, so from different regions, different presidents from different regions. And then next week we have PMI data, which last time came in better than expected. GDP last time came in better than expected. All of that feeds into higher interest rates for longer. And I would look at the 2-year yield. 2-year yield basically is at the same level it was last year, 5%. Basically, at least Treasury market anticipates no rate cuts this year. VIX is still at 19. We're close to 20 level. QQQ slightly higher, SPDR slightly higher, IW slightly lower. Copper pulling back. NVIDIA is up, crude oil is flat, Bitcoin is slightly down by 2%. So Bitcoin is also testing 50-day moving average. I think it's slightly below or right at that level, All right, let's review other positions. It's 9 o'clock. So I'm still long Amazon, 175, 180 call spread. It does have earnings, so there's a lot of volatility. I'm hoping that it's going to have decent earnings and volatility is going to pull back. So long Amazon, still long gold, still have position left gold. NVO, I do have NVO. It's also trying to defend 50-day moving average. Let's look at NVO. It's actually dipped below 50-day moving average and below, and is briefly following the general market. For now, I'm still long NVO. I did trim positions yesterday. All right, let's review actually what I did yesterday. I did close XLE. So energy pulled back. Right, we kind of have day 1, day 2, day 3, and the support is and position was around 90, 92. So kind of for now, since it's a pretty big close XLE stock, I do have a spread because the spread is 95 to 100. Right, so spread is 95 to 100. It's still kind of at that level, so I'll have to watch. If XLE continues to drop, then you close the spread. And the QQQ put spread got triggered at $5.80. So I got out of the QQQ put spread and I replaced it with the Spiders put spread, with the idea that if the 500 level doesn't hold, potentially we can reach 480. Right, so I did buy a put spread to hedge my portfolio, Spiders put spread. So those were the trades from yesterday. So in terms of positioning, I still have. What am I talking about? So we talked about Qualcomm. I do have a small position in Qualcomm. Let's see how's Qualcomm doing. I mean, for now it's above 50-day moving average. It's above. So for now I'm still long Qualcomm and have that second half of my shares. SH, in case market continues to pull back and you're not comfortable trading put spread, you can buy SH. I do have that silver spread. I'm waiting for volatility to subside in silver. Looks like it's building the top. It's consolidating, right? So at least it's consolidating. It's retesting Friday's low. Butterfly. Now I have the short. So I have a credit call spread with the idea that the volatility in these options will drop. We talked about XLE. I do have an XLE spread. And XLF, I still have ratios cover call, right? So for one contract of puts, I have 50 shares of XLF to be kind of delta neutral and see what happens with the market. But obviously, banks continue to underperform. Looks like we continue to trade lower, so maybe even close XLF by end of today. We'll see where we're going to close. It doesn't look like bulls are able to stage a rebound. 15 minutes. Continues to trade lower. It's not. Doesn't look like it's finding any support. So it's trading 26 cents. since we're about to leave. Okay. So close the short put because we are approaching to 34. It's only Tuesday. A lot of things can happen between now and Friday. So probably the flat, I have to do the calculations, or probably maybe even down slightly. Let's see. Okay. Collect all the debits and credits. So let's see. 22 minus 8. Minus 18. 14. I mean, maybe it lost 5 cents. 5 cents. Okay. So if you cannot sit and watch the orders, I would just close, because obviously market is volatile and the pullback can accelerate. Next, support levels on TLT. I mean, it would be October lows, right? 82. Assuming that 10-year yield can get to the 5%, which at this point, I don't know how you can assume that that's not going to happen. Then that would be last year lows on TLT. We are, I think, at 5%, right? This is 5%. So on the 10-year yield, we're at 5%. On the 30-year yield, right, kind of every week we're making new highs. So at this point, the only thing that can deter this is if Powell sounds bullish, whether it's today and he says, listen, we're still going to do rate cuts. I think then the rates will drop. Or we have to wait till April 29th, which is 13 days from now. And Iran bombed Israel, rates significantly dropped, right? Because now, instead of people worrying about inflation, people worry about geopolitical risks. So geopolitical risk, inflation, the rates will also drop. For now, geopolitical risks are secondary. It looks like Israel is still thinking about how to retaliate. So it creates uncertainty, but the focus is not good, right? Can intervene and try to get their yen back up, and that could cause all kinds of dislocations in interest rates and in bond market. QQQ is flat, SEMI is flat, SPDR is flat, small caps are approaching 200-day moving average. So small caps approaching 200-day moving average. And last year, I think it was similar price action where they were leading the market to the pullback earlier, right? So basically August 1st. August 1st. Same with SPDRs. Yes, it's the same idea. Okay. So I double down. $190 is on staging. Sorry, 190 is the next level of support. That's April 19. Let's remove April. Let's go into May. So 190, bigger one. I mean, it's relatively small. So 200-day moving average, right? So probably, and KRE also, I think, broke through year-to-date low. So KRE broke through year-to-date low. ARC broke through year-to-date low, and junk bonds already at 200-day moving average. So junk bonds are already at 200-day moving average. We'll see if the 200-day moving average market. If the 200-day moving average on junk bonds holds, then that would be positive. VIX is at 19. Crude oil. See, Jensen. So yeah, UNH is up. So that's a good candidate, right? Because there's like a lot of bad news with the cost of healthcare. On a down day, it's up. It held, this multi-year low. Right? You have to go back to 2020. If selling puts on UNH, I mean, assuming one contract you have $43,000. That's not it's not a very liquid name, and plus it's $500 stock. But starting small position in UNH, I think makes sense, right? Probably this level will hold, right, for 40. See how's Johnson & Johnson doing. It looks like it's also holding to support. All right, 9:15. Any questions? Bobby on H, let's see. Lagarde, president of ECB, just said ECB will cut rates soon. Okay. Thank you. UEP closed big December gap. Yeah, dollar. I mean, dollar is strong, right? None of that is good for the market, right? Dollar is basically heading to the September-October highs. So in terms of October-September highs, not that far away. So I think the risk is to the downside. So I think it makes sense to have at least one of the four positions, or maybe two out of the four positions, to be stubbornly high, right? It's not dropping. It's kind of, we're probably like one bad news away from VIX jumping to the, small level of panic, right? Under 20 is average, above 20 is a problem. So, okay. Well, I mean, Bank of America, this is a short-term trade, so I have to manage short-term trade. Whether you're in Bank of America, I mean, if you're in Bank of America, you probably want to spend a lot of time talking about this, but everything else, and when the market goes down, everything is highly correlated, right? So it's not like you're gonna find, I mean, there's exceptions, obviously, like UNH, so I understand. But we talked about earnings, but for the most part, everything is gonna be red, right? And even if Meridian is up, it's just because it's, it's been down so much, so it's up. So I'm not sure, but we can, if there's other stuff you want to discuss, we can talk about this. Netflix is up, actually. Tesla is down. We have new lows in Tesla. So Tesla is in position to probably, we're already at 2023 low, so we can get to 2022 lows. Right, next level will be 111 on Tesla. I would watch Tesla. Apple kind of give up most of its gains, right? It reversed on worse than expected. Let's see. That's about it. I mean, energy is down today. Materials are down, right? Silver, aluminum. So they're giving up some, because they were very overbought. Microsoft is actually up, Amazon slightly up. Netflix, going to the earnings, Netflix is kind of, I mean, if you think that this pullback we're done with the pullback, then yes, TLT maybe go long. But I personally don't think we're done yet, right? We need some positive streak of positive news. You can see earnings are not positively influencing the market. So if the earnings are not safe, then they were at the mercy of geopolitical risks, which could escalate any second, or macroeconomic data, which always comes in, better than expected, right? No signs of recession. Manufacturing data is stronger than expected. Retail data is stronger than expected. So that pushes yield higher and higher, right? And if there's no rate cuts, then 10-year yield should get to 5% like it did last year, right? So then, well, then it's a problem, right? Then TLT will continue to drop. Right now, it's pretty bearish pattern. You want to have some stabilization. And that stabilization might not come until end of April, until Powell actually clarifies. Put spread on spiders. So I do have a put spread on spiders yesterday. So I did put 495, 475 put spread. Right, QQQ got executed. I'm out of the QQQ put spread. So now I'm rolling it into spiders put spread. Let's see, spiders today are weak, right? With all the pullback that we've experienced recently, you would think that we would have a stronger rebound. So basically, we're to the penny, right? We tested to the penny of open. If we can rebound, right? If we can't rebound, then at least Ernest, thank you. Yes, expiration plus expiration. We've seen that positioning in spiders is actually low, right? Usually there is like 80,000 Vanna, right, in spiders, and now 80,000. That's a problem. So that means the not enough position. This is not an entire view of the universe. This is just options positions and just in spiders. But it could be reflective of majority of the positions. And then the issue is that if if there's a lot of bad news, maybe even 480 doesn't hold, right? Because there are a lot of people that are buying these 450 and 440 puts. Jeff, what do I see? The question is on LRCX. I mean, individual names hard to predict, right? I mean, we're at the mercy of earnings, right? So earnings is in, what is it, a week? In 8 days. Earnings is in 8 days. Similar to Qualcomm, all semiconductors, all semis are sitting at 50-day moving average. There looks like semiconductors are positioned better than right. TSM earnings is in Did we already have a TSM error? I don't think we have earnings. Did I miss it? So at some point we have TSM earnings. I mean, they said it was April 10. I don't think this is accurate. What TSM earnings? April 18th. April 18th. So Thursday we're going to have Netflix and we're going to have TSM. So they need to deliver 50-day moving average. Then LRCX will probably follow along. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate Scott. Bank of America. I apologize if this is not the position you were in, but you know, I am trading real account and this is real money, so we don't want to, you know, lose more. And Bank of America continues to grind lower. Now it's within 1%. Thank you, Kevin. Well, Ted Long likes Bank of America. Okay, so thank you. Put spread was closed on IC for 95. No, I closed the QQQ put spread, Fred. So I closed the QQQ put spread. So 440, 450, this was QQQ. And then that was closed. And then I opened Spider's put spread. Just watch the recording. I don't remember if you were there or not. But you can watch the recording, and I went over in details, you know, why I did this and stuff like that. You're Russian. Okay, Kevin. I'll brush up on my Russian. Okay, no SMS message on that one. Okay, sorry. Not sure why. Should be there. Okay. Let's see. All right. Thank you very much and have a great day. Discord guys. Roster hydrated muffin. Thank you very much.